Jaws 2, Marvel's Super Special 6, was 56 pages of glorious full-colour shark sequel action. It was based on director John Hancock's darker version of the film before he was replaced from the project, which means it closely follows the draft of the Jaws 2 script written by Howard Sackler and Dorothy Tristan. Sackler, of course, did an uncredited draft of the original Jaws before Carl Gottlieb came on board. So there are several differences between the comic book and the actual finished film. Take the speedboat and skier attack. In the film it is two women, but in the comic it is a pair of couples and there are two water skiers getting chomped. That makes this not just a comic, but an important document for Jaws 2 fans, as it's probably the nearest we'll ever get to a John Hancock cut of Jaws 2. There's certainly plenty of shark action here for your money. In many shots, the shark can be seen jumping out of the water, taking its victims. In fact, you'd almost be forgiven for thinking this was a scene taken from Hookjaw rather than a Marvel adaptation of Jaws 2. Not that that is a criticism. Just don't go expecting screen-accurate portrayals of Chief Brody, or indeed Mayor Vaughn, although he is still wearing his colourful attire. This sumptuous version of Jaws 2 was written by Rick Marshall and drawn by the brilliant team of Gene Colan and Tom Palmer. Colan and Palmer were known for their work on Daredevil, Howard the Duck and The Tomb of Dracula. Colan also co-created Falcon, Captain Marvel and Blade. There's some pretty gloriously intense shark action within those panels, especially with the flotilla, including the demise of the Amity Coast Guard pilot. The comic does well in cutting to the chase and delivering more shark action than you could shake Pipit's stick at. Even in this abridged canter through Jaws 2, we see even more shark deaths than we see in the final film. In many ways, it's a visual revelation. The comic book is also bookended with a really interesting interview with the eventual director, Jeannot Schwartz. In it he says he thinks Jaws 2 is a very good sequel, and on the whole, I think I'd agree with that. It's interesting that during the interview, he actually takes a call where he's told that Jaws 2 is outgrossing Jaws for the first day of release. However, as we all know, it ended up not being as successful as the original, although it was still the second highest grossing shark film of all time. Box office results adjusted for inflation. It's an essential purchase for any Jaws or Jaws 2 fan. My copy is much like the waters around Amity Island. Well read.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can learn about Jaws, sharks, movie making and everything in between. Also be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok and Instagram, and be sure to check out our website thedailyjaws.com. Until next time, we drink to your legs, farewell and adieu.